Amish Friendship Bread. What does that really mean? That's gonna be my intro. I like how I tell you everything. So today, I am making what's called Amish Friendship Bread. I've never heard of it before. My mommy-in-law actually told me about it. I guess it was a thing that people do, or it still is apparently. And what you do is one person makes the starter, and then they do something for 10 days. So it's called feeding the starter. So you squeeze the bag. One day you add stuff to it, then you squeeze the bag. Then on day 10 is when you add stuff to it, and then you divvy it up and give it to people, and then you use what's left to make it for yourself. So on day 10, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to feed it again, mix it up, and then divvy it into little bags. So that way you can give it to someone or you can keep it for yourself. Apparently it freezes. I had no idea. Again, this is the first time I've done this, so this could go one of two ways. It could be great, or it's gonna suck. We will see. So this is what I have. This is the starter. I'm about to open this bag. I'm actually quite terrified because I know it's gonna smell because it's yeast. It's fermenting. Blah. That's what it's doing. So I have my bowl. I'm gonna dump it all in here. Oh, yummy. Squeeze every last drop. Ugh. This kind of looks like puke, to be honest. I'm sure it's gonna be great. My mommy-in-law says that it is very tasty. It's like a cinnamony bread. And anybody who knows me knows I love cinnamon. Okay, I've squeezed out just about as much as I can squeeze out. I'm gonna toss this yummy bag away. And wipe yourself on your apron, which is why you have one. It says add 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of milk to the batter in a large bowl. Mix with a wooden spoon or spatula. Then pour 4 1-cup starters into ziplock bags, and then keep 1 starter for yourself. Give the other 3 to your friends along with the instructions. So, I'm gonna add my 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of milk, and then we will stir and see what it does. So now it just says stir. I don't have a wooden spatula, so I'm using rubber. It just states not to use metal. I don't know the reasoning, but I'm just following instructions. So apparently how this works is the first person who creates the starter adds the yeast. But the people that you give it to do not need yeast because it already has yeast in it. And I guess throughout the 10 days it ferments and gets bigger and you do things to it, hence feeding the starter. So I think that's pretty cool because not everybody has yeast. I mean, I can tell you, you probably can't get anything baking wise right now. Getting the arm workout. Oh my goodness, this is a thick batter. Dead cat in the way. No, it's not like we're professionals or anything. Are we professionals? Do I act like a professional? Probably not. Okay, mixing this all up. Still a little lumpy here. It smells very fermented. So I'm thinking the yeast was definitely bubbly. It's the bread that keeps on breading, I guess. Just making up dad jokes, I guess. Okay, that looks pretty tasty. So now, I get to divvy it up. So it says to take 1 cup per each thing. So I'm gonna grab another cup. Yummy. Okay. Yummy starter. Here's 1. Okay. 2 cups. 3. Now, if you don't like messy things, this is not the job for you. This is definitely not the job for my husband, I'll tell you that. So what I'm only able to do is really get 4 cups. You're technically supposed to get 5. I don't know. But I have to use this to bake it. So, let me get some paper towels. Excuse me, commercial break. Okay, back from commercial break. I gotta wipe these bags down a little bit. I got a little messy. Okay, I'm gonna set my 3 starters aside. And then continue on with the recipe. Again, use your apron. It's why you have it. So let me go to recipe. Here we go. Now to the recipe. You get to add lots of stuff and then mix it around and bake it. So it says you're supposed to preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. I say Fahrenheit because I'm in the United States. So whatever you need to do to convert it to, do what you need to do. I'm not doing the math. So we have an RV oven because we live in an RV, in case you couldn't tell, but we do. And I started the preheating early. I feel the propane just takes a little bit longer to preheat the oven, which is fine. That's just, you know, you have to do what works best for your oven. Just like some ovens run hot, some ovens run cold. This just preheats a little slowly, but I like it, so we're good. So I'm just gonna, it doesn't say any specifics on it just looks like mix it all into the batter. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. 1 cup of oil. Let me get my oil. Now, again, I'm quite curious to see if the Amish had instant vanilla pudding, because I think that they probably didn't. Thought that landed in the sink for a second. Reno, I need help getting this open. I don't have nails. Come join my video.
Oh, hi there. Oh, hi there.
He's opening the oil for me.
Maybe not.
Maybe not? Yeah!
I'm a winner.
A wiener. Wiener. So it says 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of sugar. You know, I think I'm gonna do my sugar first, just because it's a, you know, solid 1 cup of sugar. Wherever my sugar is, right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna do 1 cup of oil. Seems like a lot of oil, but I'm following the recipe. In case you're curious, I'm a very messy baker and apparently cook. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, if you've seen my last video, which was baking the cinnamon roll cake, if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's actually really funny. If you've seen it, you know I do not measure vanilla. I don't know, I just find it weird. Just dump some in, it tastes just fine. Kind of do like 2 capfuls. It's about the same. 3 eggs. 1, 2, and 3. Now we crack. Now, I don't know about you, but I actually, hold on. I don't know about you, but I actually whack it on the side. I don't do this where you hit the corner, because I think that's stupid and then I can't get it open. So I whack it and then it just breaks open. Dropping eggs. Well, actually eggshells. Some people say it's messier when they do it that way, but I feel like when I crack it on this, like the edge of something, I feel like I can't get the eggs open. One half teaspoons of baking powder. Now always measure this. Okay. We have 1. This says a half. Baking powder. Salt. Where is salt? Well, first let me close the oil because that may not be fun. Oh. Ha! Found it. Behind me. I'm just gonna sprinkle some salt. I don't measure salt either. That's just me. You do you. 2 cups of flour. Two cups of flour. Half a cup of milk. Just gonna use the same thing. And just get half a cup. Baking soda. This is half a teaspoon of baking soda. And then it says 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Again, I love cinnamon, so I'm probably going to put more than 2 tablespoons. We'll do a little bit more. Cinnamon. It's the best. And now I guess we just mix. Now it just says mix. Originally it said wooden spatula, but I got this and I'm hoping for the best. I figured if I wasn't using metal, then I was doing okay. You know, I think I'm gonna move to a whisk. This looks like a whisk type of batter. There we go. If you haven't been working out during this quarantine shelter in place, now's your chance. This works your biceps, your triceps, a little bit of your shoulder. Switch to the other arm. There you go, you got your quarantine workout. I find myself funny. Trying to get all the lumpies out. Looking a little lumpy though. I'm not so sure. I think it's good enough. Okay. So. Oh dang. Forgot to add the instant vanilla pudding. See, I'm telling you, I've never done this before. I'm gonna do it now. It says 1 large package. This is 1 large package. Just doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't think the Amish had instant vanilla pudding, or still have. Because I believe they are still around. In their own colony, I guess. This is a lot of batter. No idea how it's gonna fit in my loaf pan. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Now it says, grease a pan, or your loaf pan. This is this one I have. I got this from my mommy. She let me borrow it. I haven't given it back yet. You know, it says you're supposed to grease it and then add cinnamon and sugar to the pan. So I'm just gonna use some canola oil spray. And just grease it. Now, it doesn't tell you how much sugar and cinnamon to add. So maybe I'll just do like a handful and shake it around, I guess. Never done this before. Okay, let me get some cinnamon in there. Well, I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. So now I'm gonna pour this in here. I don't know, we'll see how much batter fits in here. Hold on, let me grab my spatula for a second. And dig it out. And hope I don't drop it. Okay, trying to get every last bit in here. Okay, and then it says you can sprinkle cinnamon and sugar on top if you want. I think I'm gonna do that. I think it's gonna be nice and fun. Give it a little crusty crust up on top. Okay. So I'm going to check my oven to see if it's preheated all the way. And then we'll stick this in the oven. So it's still preheating. Almost there. Now, as you know, we live in an RV. And an RV oven doesn't have an actual like real temperature knob. I mean, it'll say like 300, 350, 400, but they're not like good increments like you would at, you know, a conventional oven. So this is why it's important to have a thermometer. What's it called, a thermometer?
You got it.
Thermometer. I get thermometer, thermostat mixed up all the time. That's why it is important to have a thermometer in your oven. You know, they're like maybe $5 or $6, it's a lifesaver because it tells you what the real temperature is. So right now my oven actually says, the knob says closer to 350, even though it just said it was still at 300. So that's just a little tip if you have an RV oven, or really any oven for that matter, if it doesn't have a real, temperature gauge, to put one in there. So I'm gonna throw this in here. Well, really not throw, because that wouldn't work out well. But I'm gonna put my loaf in here. $325. Let me turn it down just a little bit. And it says between 40 to 60 minutes. So I'm gonna do 50 minutes and then go from there. So I have now put it in for almost about an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know if it's just my oven or what. And then it oozed everywhere, so I think I overfilled it. But I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna check to see if it's ready in the center. Ooh, that came out clean. Let me go this side though, because this was a wonky side. Yummy. This side's a little wonky, but that was the side that was oozing out, so. Other than that, it looks pretty tasty. It smells pretty tasty too. I think I need to let it sit for a second before I try to cut into it, because it is a little hot. It smells so yummy. I transferred over to a wire rack just so it can cool a little bit longer. Let me move the hot pan over. I ended up cutting a corner just to see if it was all the way done, because there was a side that kept oozing out and it just was a little wonky, and when I stuck the knife in to see if it was good at the bottom, it felt like it wasn't good, so I decided to cut it. Well, it is good, so I'm actually going to test a small piece right now. Still really hot. So let's see. Oh, that's tasty. Oh, that's good. What?
Don't judge me.
Don't judge me, I'm stuck at home with nothing to do. Oh, that crust at the top. Oh, Reno, husband, try it. Tell me what you think.
Try it.
It's hot, so do not shove it in your mouth.
Not shove it on my mouth.
It's really hot.
Oh, this is burning me. You have a dog. Yeah, that's food. Need some butter.
That's good. That's very tasty. So, even though there were some hiccups along the way, I think all in all, went pretty well. Remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. This is pretty tasty. So I'll leave the recipe down below. And if you want to start your own starter, or how to get a starter, and then what to do for the 10 days, and then what to do on the 10th day, it'll be listed down below. That way you can read it all. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all later. Bye!
Bye!